My pickaxe is about to break. My pickaxe is about to break. How are we with the water?
If it's deep enough, you insta-die.
Fair. Dwarves don't swim. Got it.
Just like hobbits.
Well, hobbits technically can swim if they learn. They just don't like the water.
What was the breed of hobbit that likes water?
Brandybucks. No, sorry, Tooks. There's a lot of hobbits that live out by the bywater and stuff, though, so, you know. There's also there's some specific hobbits that actually live by a river and, like, go on boats and stuff. I can't...
On purpose?
Yes! Oh,
what
I broke my...
unrespectable hobbits.
I know. They're very much looked down on by, the hobbits of Hobbiton. Oh.
We got orcs!
Here we go! Thor! Orcs!
You got this.
I just thought you might want to come and fight. I mean, you don't have to, I just... Come here, you. Come here, goblin. You goblin. I did not know whatever it is you're gonna say. I don't know if I should Google it to find out about the little go- Oh, it basically- they had done all the little girls' lines and whatnot before they finished the movie. And before they finished the movie, the voice actor, the little girl, died. And they hadn't finished the gentleman's, they hadn't finished, oh gosh, what's his name?
Charlie's.
Thank you. They hadn't finished Charlie's lines for that last scene. So it was actually incredibly emotional. Yay! It was actually incredibly emotional for him to record that. It took him a really long time because it was really hard for him to make it through it, because he was basically, like, emotionally, he was basically saying goodbye to that little girl that he was working with.
If you look up, you can see the orange up there in the rock.
Okay, so I just mark it here?
It's the same one. It goes all the way through.
Oh, it goes all the way through. Okay.
Rather curious building sounded. Like,
come to me.
To surround resources in a wall.
It's just part of the mountain.
I might not have known they were there.
It's part of the mountain. I mean, this stuff is naturally created, you know, and they just kind of delve into it where their homes are. That's actually what happened. That's what happened with the mithril. Here in Khazad-dûm was literally the only place that they found mithril. So they basically, even though they lived here and they lived in Khazad-dûm and all of that, they were basically mining this true silver that whole time. And then because of its value and its just not it basically based on its value, they dug and dug and dug, and that's what brought the Balrog down on their heads. Oh! I'm glad we're talking about this, guys! I looked into it because it was bugging me last time. Okay, so you know how they're talking, you know how in the beginning they were talking about Durin the Deathless?
Yeah.
Yes.
They were talking about a different Durin. There are exactly, I think there's 7 Durins, but, well, there's supposed to be 7 Durins. I know there are at least 6. So Durin the Deathless was the original Durin. He was one of the first dwarves. and he was called Durin the Deathless because he got so old. It's not that he was actually deathless, he was just like, he was so old. He was one of the oldest dwarfs, I think. He just lived for such a long time. And they do believe that the original ones, like Durin, and I think there was like 6 others. I think there's like 7 original Dwarven kings in the beginning. They believe that each one of those actual dwarves get reincarnated. So that's why there have been so many Durins throughout history, because they believe that each of these dwarves was a reincarnation or the coming again of that particular lord, because basically they named these dwarves after like Durin and these other kings because they literally looked like them in both appearance and manner. So that's where the dwarf belief was, because it was bugging me. I'm like, no. That Durin that I was telling you about Durin's Bane, it was actually named after Durin the 6th. It was either Durin the 5th or Durin the 6th. That's where the Balrog gets Durin's Bane from. Not Durin the Deathless. They're 2 completely different Durins.
So is this a case of reincarnation, insular genetics, or some sort of pharaoh? We assume that the king is...
I'd say it's more, well, it's not that they think that they're a god. It's more to the fact that it's kind of like with the elves, because the elves, they have many of the original elves, or like Galadriel was one of the originals. She was an OG. So it's not so much that they're gods, but they did have certain abilities, if you will, that their descendants don't have. So you could say that it is more Pharaoh Egyptian type thing, but they didn't actually claim to be gods, because the theology of this is there's only one great big creator, and that was Eru Ilúvatar. He was the one who sung the first song, who started the whole creation process. And then from his song is where the Valar, the Vainur and the Maiar came from. Like, his song, he created these things, and then they started singing with him, and they started singing along with him, and they helped him create the actual world and this actual physical thing. And each one of the main ones, the most powerful ones, they were the ones who were able to create their own race. So you have the ones for, I think it was Ulmo, who was the one for the dwarves. Don't quote me on that, I don't remember. And then of course you have the elves have theirs, and et cetera, et cetera. Now they're not entirely sure where man came from. Much like the wizards, they're not entirely sure where. It's unclear as to where these beings came from. But yeah, so that's kind of a little bit of, there you are. I'm not used to seeing you nerd out. It's neat. Oh my gosh, Jason.